Gautam Gambhir. I believe I've talked about him a bit before. I've talked about what made KKR so successful during IPL 2024. I've talked about his legacy and how he was with KKR and how he came back as their mentor and they won IPL 2024. And now Gambhir has been offered a coaching position by BCCI after Dravid's term, and he has accepted, and Gambhir will become the new coach of the Indian cricketing team. Now, there was a little bit of controversy surrounding this, and all this controversy just comes straight down to the fact of who Gambhir is as a person. Gautam Gambhir, as everyone should know, is a very, very, very straightforward person. He doesn't hesitate on what he has to say. He doesn't try to sugarcoat it. He just goes out with it, and it might sting a little, it might burn, but he's the kind of guy who just rips off the band-aid quickly. And it's hard to find people like Gambhir. Not everyone is bold enough to just say what they want to say, be very open about it. And Gambhir does exactly that. And that's where a bit of the controversy starts, because he may say things that people don't agree with, and he's very, it's his way. He's very sure of his way. He's very confident in it. And then that's where, oh, well, I didn't really like what he said, so I don't think he's going to be a good coach for India. It's a whole bunch of drama. But I truly do believe that Gambhir will be a good coach for India, because he's very straightforward, One thing that Gambhir has said is that we as Indian fans, we are a bit emotional, we lead with our emotions over our head. And I believe sometimes that's what lets Australia get the best of us. The Australian cricketing team and board and committee, when they're on the field, they are ruthless. Not in a rude way, but they come out there and they commit 110%. They are in the game mode. They're locked in. It doesn't really matter. Their emotions don't take over. It's their head that's completely in the game. Their head rules over their heart. I know that's a little cheesy, but it's kind of explaining what's going on here. Us Indians, I would say sometimes when we make decisions on who's going to play and what's going to happen and whatnot, our heart rules over our head a little bit. What Gautam Gambhir has said, which I completely agree with, is us Indian fans, sometimes instead of idolizing the team and focusing on the team, we idolize specific players, and oftentimes a lot of players don't get enough credit because we idolize these players. And these players that we idolize, if they drop form, if they're not performing well, or if they're of old age, they're not performing well, we still put them in, we still idolize them, and nothing ever happens to them. They're just held up to this standard. And a lot of times, sometimes, who knows, maybe this could cost us games or matches. And Gambhir has been very straightforward about it. I think what's going to happen with this new Indian team with Gambhir as captain, right? If you don't perform, if you are not playing well, I don't think Gambhir will hesitate to drop the player. I don't know if the coach is completely allowed to drop the player, but I do know the coach probably has some involvement with the selectors committee, who decides who's going to play, what match, what series, what tournament, and whatnot and stuff. And I think this will be good for the Indian cricket team, though. I mean, Dravid was, a great captain, very calm, chill, collected guy. He didn't let his emotions show a lot much. Gambhir is kind of the opposite of that, I guess. He is aggressive. He has his emotions and he lets them get out, right? But we've seen his aspects of mentorship and stuff, and we've seen what it does to the team. I think just open criticism and critiquing. It might not always feel the best at first, but there's definitely more progress with that than there is with sugarcoating, oh, it's okay, it'll be better next time, And I think Gambhir and Rohit Sharma, captain and coach, will be a good combo and will work well together because Rohit Sharma is a very, captain at ease. He doesn't stress too much, he doesn't worry too much. He helps everyone on the go. He's not very hard on the players. And Gambhir is a little more, I would say, he has more involvement as a coach, right? So I think the two of them would balance each other out because one's really into it and one's at ease with it, if that makes sense. So I do think Gambhir will be a good coach for India, and we'll see how that goes. I believe he's set to take on captaincy as when the Sri Lankan series starts, when the series against Sri Lanka starts. ODI series. So yeah, we'll see what happens then.